Ever get that feeling where you see something small, something kind of ordinary, but it really makes you stop and think? That's what we love to do here. Today, we're taking a deep dive into this, well, it's a bit of a puzzle from the world of fish keeping.
Oh, yeah, those are the best.
We're talking about, oh, you guys shared this blog post with us.
Right.
It's called Notes on Fish Keeping, Part 93, Water Quality or Changes of Behavior.
Oh.
And it's from kianmeng.org, posted March 19th, 2025. So we're going way back.
A little blast from the past.
Yeah, and, our mission here is to really dig into why these little jewel cichlid fry decided to just up and move, and what the author's first thoughts were about this whole thing.
Yeah, it's really fascinating to look at these specific, I guess you could say micro-observations, and then see how those connect to these larger principles.
Exactly.
Like, what is it about this specific observation that really caught the author's eye?
So right off the bat, the blog post talks about these, jewel cichlid fry, and they're growing, they're getting bigger, but then poof, they start disappearing from their usual spot. This spot was near some dried coral rock that the author had put in there, very intentionally, to help keep the water nice and clean.
So it wasn't just there for looks, it was actually serving a purpose in this miniature ecosystem.
Right, exactly.
Adds a whole other layer to the mystery.
It really does. And it gets even more interesting because the author, wanted to see what was going on. So they removed some of the plants in the pond.
Right.
And guess what? The fry hadn't actually disappeared. They had just relocated to the other side, like the complete opposite side of the pond.
Wow, a total change of scenery.
It is a full-on move, yeah.
So what were some of the initial thoughts about why this was happening? What could explain this sudden relocation?
So the author had a couple of ideas. The first one was that maybe, just maybe, the water quality in their original hangout wasn't so great anymore. And the author thought maybe it was because of, overfeeding, maybe too many uneaten pellets were breaking down and messing with the water.
Right, and that's a pretty common issue in fish keeping.
Right.
When those leftover food pellets start to decompose, they can release all sorts of compounds that can stress out the fish, especially the younger ones.
Right. And, the other thought was, well, maybe it's just a phase. Maybe it's just, a normal part of growing up for these little guys. Like maybe they're getting too big for their first little home or something.
Yeah, like their instincts are telling them to branch out and explore a bit.
Exactly.
It's always a tricky thing, trying to figure out if something's happening because of the environment or if it's just, like you said, natural behavior.
Right.
So in this case, which of those possibilities do the author seem to lean towards at first?
The author was pretty upfront about this. They really felt like the water quality issue was the more likely reason for this big move.
So what did they do? Did they just let it play out, or did they take action?
Action. They got right in there and removed all the uneaten food they could see, any debris, anything that could be affecting the water. They basically tried to fix the problem right away.
And rather than just tossing it out, the author actually found a way to recycle it all, right?
Yeah, isn't that cool? They actually used that, the fish waste and the old food to fertilize their potted plants. Talk about turning a negative into a positive.
Absolutely. Little lesson in resourcefulness.
Yeah. So what happens next? Cleanup's done. Now what?
Yeah, what's the next step?
Well, next up is just watching. The author's plan was basically to see if those little fry decided to move back to their old digs now that things were all spruced up. Basically, it's all about gathering more information to see if their hunch was right.
It's like a mini science experiment unfolding right there in the pond,
It really is.
Observe, hypothesize, test, and then observe again. It's amazing how much we can learn just by really paying attention to the world around us.
Right. Okay, so let's zoom out a little bit and take a look at the bigger picture.
Okay.
The blog itself, it's called kianmeng.org, and it's got this really interesting subtitle. What can we learn about the author just from that?
Well, the full subtitle is Musings of an Old Software Plumber. Journal of an Old Software Plumber, Night-Long Tinkering with Free Libre and Open Source Software, FLOS. And occasionally some other stuff, C projects he dabbles in. So right away you get the sense that this is someone with a technical mind.
Right.
Probably very detail-oriented, loves to tinker, and has a lot of different interests, not just fish.
Yeah. And when you look at the projects and frequent topic sections, it's like a whole mix of things. There's all sorts of floss projects, gardening, photography, programming, AI, diet, home improvement, guitar, and even book notes.
Wow.
It's a really curious mind, constantly exploring different things.
And right there in the mix is notes on fish keeping.
Right.
And this entry, remember, is part 93.
93.
This isn't just a casual hobby. This is a sustained passion.
Yeah.
Years of observation and documentation.
Years, yeah.
That's incredible.
So we also know this particular post was published on March 19th, 2025 at 3:000000 p.m.
A very specific timestamp.
It's like a little time capsule.
It is. And don't forget about those tags, 0319, 2025, Fry, Jewel Sexlid, and Notes on Fishkeeping.
Right.
They're like digital breadcrumbs, making it easier for anyone who's interested in these topics to find this specific entry.
Exactly. And one more thing, right at the beginning, the author mentions that this post continues from my previous post, meaning this whole saga with the Jewel Cichlid fry is just one chapter in a much longer story. We're just getting a glimpse.
A snapshot in time.
Yeah.
So if we were to sum up the main question the author was trying to answer, what would it be? What was the core issue at play here?
It all boils down to this. What caused the fry to move? Was it because something changed in their environment, like the water quality, or was it just part of their natural development?
Cause and effect.
Yeah. And based on what we've seen, what was the author's initial thought? Their working theory, so to speak.
Well, the fact that they went straight to cleaning up the fry's original spot suggests that they believe the water quality was the main culprit.
Right. And the next step, observing whether the fry moved back, depends entirely on that initial assessment.
And here's where it gets really interesting for you, the listener. Think about it. Even in something as contained as a backyard pond, you can see this complex interplay between the creatures and their surroundings. This author's close attention to these tiny jewel cichlids and how they react to even small changes in their little habitat is a perfect example of this fundamental ecological principle. It really is amazing.
And you know what's really cool? This whole story, it might seem small, but it gets you thinking about how even the smallest environmental changes, like some leftover fish food, can have real consequences.
Oh, absolutely.
And it shows how powerful that basic scientific method can be. Observe, hypothesize, experiment, and then observe again. It's like a tiny case study playing out right there in someone's backyard.
Exactly. And it makes you wonder, how often do we miss those subtle environmental cues in our own lives, in the systems around us, that might be shaping behavior and, well, everything, really?
That's a good point.
This whole fish fry relocation thing, it's a good reminder to pay attention, to really tune in to those connections, even the ones that seem insignificant.
So what does this all mean for you today? What can you take away from this deep dive into a fish-keeping blog? Well, hopefully you see that valuable insights can come from the most unexpected places. Think about it. What small changes might be happening around you right now, at work, at home, that could be influencing things in ways you don't even realize? And what would happen if you took the time to observe, to form a hypothesis, and then see what happens? It's all about those aha moments. And they can come from anywhere, even a few tiny fish deciding to pack up and move.